fucking awesome. Come on, it's gonna be fucking awesome. You know the words. It's gonna be fucking awesome. That's it, say. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah!
Hey, it's me, Jesse Blaze Snider, the Coolest Geek Alive. How you doing out there, my fellow Coolest Geeks? Are you doing awesome? I'm doing pretty awesome. I'm feeling really great. I got my comic book, Fucking for Our Future. It's out on Kickstarter. We've only got 6 days left, so if you hear this, get over there, get onto the Kickstarter, help us raise money for this book. I've kind of inspired, not kind of, but I mean directly inspired by the fact that I'm doing so much promotion for this book, and we're having so many conversations, not so much just about Fucking for Our Future, but about changing the landscape of entertainment. How do we change the landscape of entertainment? How do we get back to what comics used to be like before and movies used to be like before? And I don't mean like get back to like doing the same kind of shit that they are doing already, that they've already done, but get back to an idea that there isn't a whole bunch of restraints on humor, and there isn't only one way to do representation or diversity, that things can be done in a more organic way, and that stories should be driven from the hearts and minds of the people who were inspired to write them in the first place, and not ideologically driven like the way that we have it so much today. And as I've been going over in the previous episodes of the show recently, make no mistake, this is ideology. And it's not even ideology that people believe. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't people who do believe it, but I'm saying that at the tippy top, the people who are pushing it, they don't believe it. They're pushing it because it is a control device. They are trying to control us by dividing us up and keeping us fighting in petty little squabbles amongst ourselves. The men fight the women, the whites fight the blacks, the poor fight the rich. But the rich and the poor, you know which rich and poor end up fighting each other? The blue-collar business owners end up fighting the poor people because a lot of different tax things that'll happen, they end up affecting the people in the middle the most. The way they do the tax brackets is designed to fuck up the small businessman. So the people who were like you later, recently, they were poor, and then they decided to start their own business, and now they're starting to get into a position where they're one of the rich people. They have power. And then a bunch of choices are made in our governance or whatever about the taxing or the way the insurance is going to happen or whatever. And it destroys the tiny local business because they can't afford to institute the new laws that have been made to govern the business world. And the higher ups in the business world, the tippy tops of the financial organization, they knew that. That's why they made those laws like that. That's why they chose those numbers and those percentages, because they knew that they would survive, but their new competition that's on its way up, the people who were formerly poor people, but now they're blue-collar business owners, they can't compete anymore. So we don't end up fighting the power at all. Right now, this DEI initiative, this financial system, they don't care. If they cared, Disney would be making serious changes. Enough of these financial people, their stock has been going down and down and down and down. If they cared about that, if this was about financial profit for them, and these same companies, BlackRock and Vanguard, whatever, they are making so much profit in other areas, in the medical, pharmaceutical, food industries. They don't need to profit in the entertainment industry. They can cut their losses at Disney if it means facilitating an ideological idea in all the entertainment that is going to lead to division amongst the population. Because when we're divided, what can't we do? We can't fight back in unison. When we all don't want to be in a war, like happened in Vietnam, eventually we get out of the war. We can peer pressure the people at the tippy top of things if we all come together and decide on something in unison. I was recently talking on a podcast, and I don't want to shit talk this company, and I you know what, I won't name them. But I'll say there's a fundraising website that's specifically keyed to the comic book community. And I thought that they would be community oriented. I imagined what I would do if I had that company. And I imagined that I would be waiting for books like mine. Real quality books drawn by professional comic book artists. Things that are impressive. Doesn't look like an amateur drew it. Writers with credits to their name who have worked for major companies like Marvel, like Disney, like the Muppets and Pixar and DC and every other comic book company in between. I imagine that me putting my comic, Fucking for Our Future, up on this website, that we would get some preferential treatment. I am a professional in the industry who has been making comics for the major companies. My artist is a professional who's been making, granted, he's incognito, but you can tell by his work. He's under a pseudonym, Dizzy Arnold. But you could tell by his work, he's a pro. So if I had a website that was a community-based, this is for comics, so the comic creators can fund their own books and stuff, I would be paying attention to every single comic that came across the site, and anything, whether it was Ethan Van Sciver or Jimmy Palmiotti or any major comic book writer, creative person, or any person who is clearly ready for prime time, that the art is delivering, the covers are delivering, that the campaign is fun, whatever it might be, that you would lift them up. You would put them on the front page. You would have some sort of mechanism in place, not just to promote everything that's on the website unilaterally, like every single comic that anybody ever decides to make is worth your time. They're not. There are some people where I'm sorry, but like they got a lot of practicing to do before their comic is worth your time. And my comic is right next to them as if my comic and their comic are the same. My comic and their comic are not the same. They just started. One day maybe they'll be great. But they haven't put in the years and the time that it takes to really become a great writer, to really become a great artist, the way me and my team have. A smart member of this community who's looking to raise up the profile of their website and raise up the comic book community is trying to help the cream rise to the top. Because that is what creates a stronger industry. Look at this brilliance. Look at this brilliance. Look at this brilliance. When people start to notice all the brilliance, that's when people come and put their eyes on a thing and they start to be able to get a shine on other things. But you have to wait for people to, or not wait, you have to either wait for people to find those things, or if you're a responsible member of the community, which I imagine this website would be thinking like, because that's how I would think, you would be an active participant in helping to speed that process up. And that's the moment that we're in right now. What do we do? How do we fix the film industry, the television industry, comic books? Well, it's very simple, my friends. Because they're not going to do it. The mainstream studios, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. They are going to double down. It's going to get worse. It's going to seem every now and then like they're throwing us a bone. Like Deadpool and Wolverine will probably be largely great. It'll be them throwing us a bone. And then it'll be back to business as usual. I'm paying attention. I'm looking at all the signs. You guys don't even know all the little pieces of news that have come out, little rumblings of this, that, and the other thing that I can interpret, because I've been in the industry fucking long enough to know what is going on. And I'm telling you, looking behind the scenes at the moves being made, nothing is changing. Nothing. They are not fixing anything. The idea that they're just going to do maybe one Marvel movie a year or cut it down to 2 or whatever it is, that is to slow the bleeding that they know will continue. Deadpool and Wolverine being allowed to be good. It's just to slow the bleeding that they know will continue, to keep you guys off balance. Because if they continue to consistently show up with terrible DEI fucking fingerprints all over every fucking thing that they do, and remember, the DEI fingerprints make it inorganic, and when the art is inorganic, even when it's good, like something like Furiosa that I saw and me and my son really enjoyed, but people aren't going to show up because it seems inorganic. It seems unreal. It doesn't seem like it's the thing that everybody wants. In this world, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to politicians, comes to musicians, everybody's looking for the same thing. Genuineness. Real people. People who say things that they mean. Who back up their play. You know, I mean, the reason why this show has a fan base is because I'm a genuine guy. I put my money where my mouth is. I say whatever the fuck I think. Right? Have you heard me pulling punches? I'm talking about all sorts of stuff. You come on. You guys know of people who, if they were listening to my show, they would have some things to say about some of the things that Jesse says in passing. Oh boy. And maybe you have some things to say about some of the things that Jesse says in passing. But you know that Jesse's largely open to your ideas as well. You know, like even if I disagree with you, Trump's Hitler. I disagree. I don't think he's Hitler. You know, I don't really care for Trump. I don't think he's a great guy. But I disagree with that attitude. And I don't think that attitude is particularly helpful for the conversation on the political landscape. I think it keeps us divided. I think if we can kind of put things like that aside, it will help us to find common ground as human beings and be able to continue the conversation and move forward in our world. So, you know, I might disagree with that, but I don't hate you if you don't like Trump or you think Trump's Hitler or whatever. I fucking hate you. I don't want to see bad things happen to you. I don't want to force you to think like me. I want to convince you to have a conversation that ends with all of us getting what we want. And I'm just crazy enough to believe, as an idealist, that that's possible. Most of you guys have just been kind of broken down by the system. You think that we can't have any better. So you just keep accepting what they're giving you. But, you know, what's the old joke? Guy goes to the doctor. He says, he says, doctor, it hurts when I go like this. And the doctor says, well, stop doing that. It's a very simple answer to solve your problem. But it is the answer ultimately. Stop doing that. Stop feeding this beast. Stop fighting with Mark Wade online. Stop fighting with Ethan Van Sciver online. Stop fighting with the Comics Gators or the Never Trumps. Stop fighting and start celebrating. Start sharing your favorite comedian who's telling the jokes that you think need to be heard. Your favorite filmmaker who's made some sort of independent thing on YouTube or is in the studio system, whoever it is. The time has come for the people who want change to support the people who are like-minded. There is good art. There's good entertainment. If we lead with our passions, all of the shit that's bothering us, all of the art that's annoying us, it's just going to fall off because the support's not going to be there for it. Right now, freaking Star Wars press team are trying to make The Acolyte out to be some sort of success, literally using the amount of media coverage, the amount of times people are saying the word Acolyte to suggest that it's actually a big success. The Acolyte is a meme. It is not a success. A bunch of noisy paid shills on Twitter. And trust me, on Twitter, on social media, all these places, some of them are paid, most of them are not. Most of them are doing it for free, but they get prestige. They get backstage passes. They get to the movie premiere. There are things that they are getting out of towing the line, repeating the shit that the trade magazines want them to repeat. The people who are in this system, in this entertainment system, they know the drill. They know what it means when they see an article in a trade magazine bashing this company or bashing that company. It means that this is what the industry, what the studio system wants us to feel. This is the dictation from the top of how they want us all to behave about this or about that, whatever it might be. They are signaling each other. They are dog whistling each other through the trades when it's okay to pile on Bob Iger. Don't worry, they'll tell you in the trades. And it won't be acceptable and appropriate to give Bob Iger any shit until they come out in the trades and they start saying something. Then everybody knows, okay, the studios have signed off on this. And I'm telling you, the whole entertainment system is being allowed to destroy itself. And it's the best news for creative people like me. I mean, it is the best news. They are actively in a downward spiral. If the independent creative people who are good at what they do can be clever and be led by their inspiration, we can literally take back control of entertainment and completely reimagine the whole thing to the way that it should be. And we will have DEI, diversity and inclusion and equity, natural diversity and inclusion and equity, which is always better. You know, I've talked about this before. One of my best friends is Aaron Sparrow. Aaron Sparrow, me and him became friends first when I was a writer for Boom Studios. I wanted to write the Muppets for them, and very classically, Aaron was very inspired by my pitch because I just basically said, I love the Muppets, and I feel like sometimes people don't do a very good job with them, and I really want to make sure that some great work that honors Jim's legacy comes out. And they didn't have any Muppets for me at the time, but they had Toy Story, and they offered me that job, and I ended up pitching, and I got the job, and went on to work with Aaron for a long time. Well, let me tell you, and I really hate talking about this because like it's so racist to even have to fucking go out of my way to point out all of the unique attributes of the team of people that I work with on my comic books. But the team of people that I work with on my comic books is as diverse as they come. And I got them all from Aaron, who came about all of these people completely naturally by just going with the passion, going with the right people for the right job. And guess what? King of Kings, as an example, my colorist on King of Kings is Andrew Dahlhaus. Andrew Dahlhaus is black, maybe Indian. I've never asked him what his fucking denominations are. He's not a white guy, even though me and Aaron are. Our book designer is Erica Tariquez. You might notice that that's a girl's name, and that's a Hispanic name. That's Erica Tariquez. And Erica, I'm not sure. Erica might be other things as well. Who knows? But Erica was the right person for the job, so she got the job. My letterer on King of Kings is a man named D.C. Hopkins, who's a white man, who works for a black man named Darren Bennett, who we hired, who has a company called And World Design. And World Design is great. Darren's a fucking great letterer. And when we asked Darren if he would do the King of Kings book, Darren assigned his guy, D.C. Hopkins, to the book, who happens to be a white guy. So here, we hired a black guy. He sent us a white guy. He sent us the right man for the job. And we hired the right man for the job, who brought us, his company. Yeah, sure, no problem. And we got a great letterer for this. Yesterday's entertainment industry was just as unnatural as today's is. Today's is much worse, though. But at the end of the day, if something's unnatural, it's unnatural. It's either natural or it's unnatural. Today is unnatural. Yesterday was unnatural, too. Yesterday, there was a barrier to your leads being a woman, your lead being black, your lead being Hispanic, your lead being anything other than a white man. There was a barrier. There was an idea that the toy wouldn't sell if it was a girl to the boys. The toy wouldn't sell if it was black. The toy wouldn't sell if it was Hispanic. They're really, these things were made. And what is the truth of the reality? The truth of the reality is, no, not always, not in all cases. If the character's good enough and people connect with the character, like Black Panther or Blade, yeah, we'll go buy a Blade action figure or a Black Panther action figure. That'll sell. We like that character. If the character isn't one that happened to particularly connect with the audience, it's going to sell the same as a white character that didn't happen to connect with the audience. Granted, there was more white characters being offered to the audience. There was more male characters being offered to the audience. So the chances that one of those white characters was going to stick with the audience was better. And eventually that happened. And there was less women. There's less Sigourney Weavers and aliens, and less Blades. Wesley Snipes. Blade's a great example because usually speaking, all black guys are just depicted in a very stereotypical black, and we're from the black community. And to a certain degree, I think the reason why Avi Arad couldn't get Black Panther made with Wesley Snipes, but he was able to get Blade made, is because Blade played to the hip hop era nonsense, the crime kind of thing. He was a dark character, kind of Batman vigilante, versus Black Panther was a noble king. That's putting black people in a positive light. But now, flash forward, as everything changes, Black Panther becomes the poster child for the DEI initiative. And this is the thing, guys. They're using us, man. They're using you and your proclivities. If you're handicapped, if you're overweight, society is using you to fight anybody who wouldn't feel like they were necessarily in your box. If you feel like you're in this box and they're going to turn you against everybody else, just know you're being used. All the gays, you're being used. All the trans, your fucking story and the turmoil and the difficulty of the struggle that you're going through, it's being used for political purposes to divide the world. And they're doing things in your name that are actually making you less appealing to the other people who don't exactly understand your journey. They're being pushy about their trans initiative stuff to such a degree that the Puritans and the really dogmatic religious people amongst us who are having a hard time with some of these ideas are feeling very much like they're being pressed upon. And what happens then? That's when it's got all this shit about civil war and all this nonsense. The gay community has never wanted to fucking annoy the straights. They just wanted to be accepted so that they could live and let live and be able to do their things in their life. But this overcorrection now is such that we're getting bad representation. We're getting representation on Doctor Who that literally will sour a straight white man with maybe a little bit of a prejudice towards the gay community. Well, that guy, well, boy, we did not sell him on gays very well. We put him in a position where he was like, man, you're just going to be forced to take in as much of this gayness that you're already having a hard time with through your favorite show. There you go. Here you go. You must handle it. And you don't do, guys, no, nothing is forced on anybody. That's not how it works. People just stop watching. You're either preaching to the converted or you're preaching to silence. You're preaching to nobody. Nobody wants to be preached to unless they love what you're saying, And there's plenty of people who I'm sure who can't handle what I'm saying. Well, I like to think that I tend to say things in a way that demonstrate that I'm not really against anybody here. And I'm really trying to argue on behalf of all of us. It's like, how do we make this world work for all of us? I want it to work for all of us, I don't want to live in this classed society where you're big and I'm small. I want us all to be big. I want everybody to be able to afford to go see the movies. I want everybody to be able to afford to buy flowers for their girlfriend. I want everybody to be able to buy my music and buy my comics. I want everybody to have as much money as they need for us all to be able to support all the cool, wonderful things that are out there in this world to do. I want everybody to be able to go to Disney World. I don't want people to have to scrape and scrap and it to be really that hard. I don't want everybody to have to work so hard. I want a better world, man. And I don't care if I have to make some compromises so that we can all live in it. Ultimately, the only people that I'm against is anybody who's defending that notion that I'm sorry, we can live in this world together, but only if we get rid of the Muslims. Sorry, we can live in this world together, but only if we get rid of the Jews. Sorry, we can live in this world together, but only if we get rid of the blacks. Sorry, we can live in this world together, but only if we get rid of the white man. Dude, it just comes full circle. And this shit is designed to keep us fighting and struggling. The top tier of everything on planet Earth are responsible for every bit of art that you digest. Lady Gaga got on the cover of Rolling Stone because she is an illuminated one on whatever level. Maybe she wasn't illuminated, but one of the people, her handlers, whoever it was, they went to her. They were like, we can get a deal, whatever. And she agreed to some shit. She agreed to do whatever the fuck they wanted her to do. And they told her, we're going to make you a star. And they put her on the Rolling Stone magazine cover. This music industry has tried to turn me into somebody that sold sex to little girls my entire music career. Every single label that I've ever talked to has basically encouraged me to become myopic in the type of styles that I'm doing musically, to do a very singular type of style, and to lean into my looks and make music for little girls, to sell sex to little girls. And I've always said the same thing. I'm not a crooner. I didn't come here to be Bon Jovi. I'm a freedom fighter. I'm here to free people's minds. I'm here to empower people and let them know that they can do anything and that anything is possible. My music is about that. My music is not about sex. My music is not about drugs. My music is not... occasionally I'll write about sex. Occasionally I'll write about psychedelic drugs, plant drugs. Or sometimes I'll write about drugs if I have something to say in terms of the story of somebody doing drugs or whatever. But for the most part, that's not my focus. That's not where I put my focus. If a love song comes out of me or a song about sex comes out of me, it does because I had a particular idea about that. But my particular idea in general about music is pointing to all the parallels, showing people things that they haven't seen before, saying things that need to be said that haven't been said yet. Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name has been said a million fucking times? Any version of, hey, you're hot, let me pick you up. I'm really not being that original. I might come up with something original along the way, but again, that's not my focus. There are artists, that is all they do. And lots of them, that's all they do because that's all the label wants. In hip-hop, you have a completely negative criminal version of the black community. Everybody's a criminal. Selling drugs and gang banging and shooting each other and all. Really, it's like a competition to see who can be the shadiest and the most fucked up. It's hysterical. Once you realize that it's like a little bit of a game, it's like how fucked up can you be? I remember listening to 50 Cent, who is an artist I love. If you never listen to 50 Cent, he's a great artist. I do my podcast, All Your Favorite Bands Suck, every Monday night. There's an episode on 50. If you ever want to get into his music, very cool. And I talk about this a little bit there. But he has a lyric about how he goes to drive by your house. And he's like, and if you're not there, I'll drive by your mama's house to lure you out. I'll go shoot up your mom's crib so that you get so upset that you come looking for me. And as a joke, this is very dark and hysterical. But as a true statement, it's the most fucking heinous shit imaginable. And this is what the game has become. How fucking heinous can we be? What sort of fucked up thing can I say? This doesn't mean that there aren't any wonderful, idealistic, positive hip-hop and rap artists out there in the world. They are just not being supported. The music industry knows what it wants. Glam was, that is more DEI initiative. My father, he's not like a plant. This is something that was him. He was that thing. But the idea to propagate men dressed up as women and put a lot of money into getting that out there and to basically do a shitload of different bands like that, even though it wasn't necessarily natural to all of those bands, but it became a trend that the music industry was doing, so everybody had to ride the trend. The Beatles and Elvis Presley, they broke down barriers for dogmatic Christians and Puritans who were living in America, wiggling hips and going to dance clubs and all these things. There was a puritanical sort of thing keeping that stuff back. Music purposely shaped society and broke them out of that mold. Now, I'm glad that they broke us out of this mold and brought us somewhere closer to the middle. But they have continued past the middle, and now they are using all of the LGBT community, all of feminism, all of the other races, and all of the other people as a weapon against everything that isn't that, and causing this back and forth divide that is just going to go on for forever. So, what do we do? What do we do? All right. Well, first of all, if you are a creative person, if you are a businessman with a good heart in your chest, you have to make yourself an island. It's not about going into their false system. The false system will drive you crazy and will ultimately poison you. You know, you will be baptized by the system and the system will corrupt you. However, if you can create an island, a business model that does the business that you know better than the business is currently being done, and if you can keep yourself outside of that system and turn enough people on, get enough people, be grassroots oriented. And this is the second part is support of the community, which I'm going to get in just a second. But step one is you building a proper system, a system where everybody is properly incentivized, a system where my success is your success, where we all win, a system where it's not a pyramid scheme where one person is lifted to the top by all the other people, but it's a scheme of community designed to lift up many people in a similar way all at once. I've talked about this a little bit with my company. You know, my company, I'm working on getting some money for Blacklight District Studios because I want to license some books. And I've got a small crop of books that I want to license, and I want to put these out, and I want to hire my best friend, Aaron Sparrow, to put in charge of the thing. Now, I'm hiring him. I'm not getting money so I can pay myself. I don't need to be paid. I'm a writer. He can pay me for anything that I write for the company that I'm making. I can get paid for the percentage of ownership that I have in the books that my company is making. There's a lot of different ways where I can get paid as a creative person. And maybe one day when it is a functional, practical company and it makes sense, I can get a paycheck. But in the meantime, while I'm trying to build up this fucking company, it's not about just me making oodles of money as a CEO or whatever. The first stage is creating a fucking system that can sustain itself. I can create a system that can sustain itself if I know that Aaron Sparrow has a job tomorrow and that Aaron Sparrow can make the best comic books. I know that I will have great artists working on our licensed books and that Aaron will get the best out of them. I know that I will have great writers working and that Aaron will get the best out of them. I know that he's the best man for the job and I will oversee and fucking creative direct and make sure that we're doing ideologically the right things to terraform and change this landscape. Because trust me, good ideas and good approaches to being able to like get a foothold in an industry or it comes with really studying the subject matter, really understanding what you're doing, looking at what's been done before, looking at what's succeeded, looking at what's failed, and figuring out what you're going to do to continue to roll that ball forward. But I can't just think about me. I have to think about this as the beginning of the sustainable, creative community that I want to see. If you're out there and you make TV or you want to make TV or you make movies and you want to make movies, it's never been easier to do it independently. Right now on Kickstarter, Fucking for Our Futures up there with my buddy Dizzy Arnold. Dizzy Arnold drew this comic. I wrote the comic. I could write 4 comics, 5. I could write tons. I could write 6, 7, depending on what kind of friggin', how prolific I was feeling that month. But easily, at least I could write 4 comic books a month. Just and give myself plenty of time to do whatever. It's difficult sometimes to draw 1 comic book a month. So I could do 4 times the amount of work that he can do. Well, that's an advantage that I have here. But if we make a Kickstarter campaign and I do all the Photoshop work for all of our pledges and I do all of the calculating and all the stuff to figure out how to do the Kickstarter campaign and I run it and I do the social media and I do the other stuff and then I print the book the divide between I can write 4 times as many comics as you can draw, it equalizes. I mean, to a certain degree, I'd say, sorry, Dizzy, I'm beating you, man. I'm working harder on this thing than you are at this point because the part of the work that I'm doing that is creative, that I want to do, is smaller than the part of work that I have to do that's necessary for me to do because we need to be able to make money off of this comic book. So, I'm providing a real great service for my friend and absolutely equalizing our relationship in terms of the back and forth of what's being given. There are lots of different ways that people can equalize responsibilities. Me and Dilf USA, we have been making music videos. We've got 4 music videos. They're all fucking funny. Our production just keeps getting better and better and better. Most of our actors aren't actors. It's just fucking friends. And we are editing it or whatever it might be to get the best out of the people that we have. We're getting the best moments. And it's fine. It's perfect. We didn't have to fucking pay anybody. And our shit is good. It gives people laughs. Go check out Dilf USA. Go watch our 4 music videos. We just put out a new cover mashup of We Want Some Pussy and TNT by AC/DC and 2 Live Crew. It's a song we've been playing in the clubs, which goes over really great and is really awesome. And the video is very self-deprecating and very funny. And people love it, and that's the way. Humor has been one of the greatest gifts too, because we have such a great time. When people come to shoot a music video and the music video is like camera in this singer's face and everything's about them and whatever else, people come down to our music video and I am getting laughs at my own expense the whole time we're there. The We Want Some Pussy music video, I dress up as an old guy, and I'm like this old lecherous dude, and like, whoa, I want some pussy. I just want some pussy. And it's just this silly freaking bit that we're doing. We're being silly. We're not taking ourselves too seriously. When you do that, it's easy to have people come and volunteer and help out. Everybody always has a good time. Everybody has a good time. They have a really great time sharing the stuff and saying, yeah, I'm involved with that. Yeah, I know those people. Yeah, I was in the video. So proud of this. I have a music video called Go With Me, which I made for my daughter. It was a christening song that I wrote for her. And this was inspired by my manager at the time. It was a really good idea that she had, really. She had me put all of these pictures of other people's children and other people's dads and people that they cared about, that they felt went with them everywhere they go. Even though I lost this person, they go with me everywhere I go. Oh, that's going to make me cry. And we got all of these submissions for the song, and we made this music video that has all of these pictures of all these different people and dads and children and some kids that were lost and some kids that are all grown up now and some dads that were lost. Sorry, it makes me cry because it means so much to the fans of that song. Like, to this day, I get messages about how much it means to them that their dad was included in the video, their son was included in the video. And like they put this on all the time because it makes them cry because the song means something to them about the people that they love. And I put one of the people that they love in the video. And they feel like they're a part of it. And they promote it and they tell people about it. Have you ever heard this song by Blaze Snider? People love that song. They love me for making that song. And I think that really I get the love that I get because we chose to include all of those people's stuff in it. And I wasn't sure if that was the right idea at the time. I was like, I don't know. This seems like a little like low grade. Like, I don't know, like a rock star wouldn't have like all these stranger people in their video, something like that kind of thing. But I understood, the method of it. And as soon as we started like kind of talking about it, because it really meant a lot to me, that song, for me and for my daughter. But it meant a lot to other people. It meant so much to other people. Immediately meant so much. And that was serious. But seriously good, seriously positive. It wasn't egocentric. It was a song I wrote for my daughter. And the approach was to include all these other people who had people who they wanted to go with them, who had people who they loved. When we create things from a community standpoint, it can stand the test of time. And it's sort of built into it that it will succeed eventually. I will succeed eventually at every single thing I'm doing because I am here from a community standpoint. I show up every Wednesday to talk about geek culture, which is the culture that I love, to tell people from my perspective and my years of experience because I have fucking been around for a long time and I know a little something. And I want to give you guys the gift of the perspectives that I've been given, whether or not they perfectly line up for you or not. I'm just earnestly showing up and I'm trying to give you the gift of my experience. And I do the same thing every Monday night with music. These are all the bands that I have discovered that are amazing. Maybe you'll love them too. On Fridays, and I do Everything They Don't Want You to Know podcast, and I'm teaching you esoteric information. I'm saying this is the important information that I have found that has really worked and served me and helped me understand reality much better. Maybe this will help you. I do the exact same thing when I write a song, when I make a comic book. We have to be audience-oriented, because being audience-oriented is about being community-oriented. It is about recognizing that you are one with your community. You listening to me right now is God listening to God, right? I am God. I am an equal to you, God. You are accepting my words. You're accepting this time with me. You have allowed me into your existence, to be a part of your existence. And I have allowed you into mine by putting my podcast up, putting my voice out there, making it available for you to find. We are here for each other. We are giving to each other. What good's making a movie or being a movie star if there's nobody to watch the movie? Imagine if there was no audience. Imagine if we were just making movies. Why? You're making them to connect with humanity. And you don't have to be a girl to connect with Sigourney Weaver and aliens. You don't have to be a dude to think, a black guy to think that Wesley Snipes is the fucking most badass motherfucker ever in Blade, or to think he's the fucking coolest motherfucker in Demolition Man. Oh, man, like I've never wanted to be somebody so badly in my life. Fucking Denzel Washington in friggin' Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man. Like his character, with the intelligence that he was given from the thing, he was smart and he didn't care. And he was basically living in a world that was a really ugly, corrupt system. And he was a feature of chaos within a terrible corruption. And he was handsome. Fucking, oh man, just beautiful black skin, man, with that fucking blonde hair and that freaking haircut and the cool outfits he was wearing, the freaking overalls and some of the fucking clothes he was wearing. I have never identified more with a black guy wanting to be a black. I was like, oh my God, you were so fucking cool. I want to be you, Wesley Snipes. And literally, he's up against Sylvester Stallone. Hey, Sylvester Stallone, Demolition Man. And then we got Wesley Snipes like, what seems to be my buckle? He can speak well. He's fucking sharp as a tack. And he's built and he's powerful looking. Fuck yeah, man. My whiteness didn't stop me for 1 second of loving every moment of that. And so many fucking things. You know, my whiteness didn't stop me for 1 second from enjoying the fucking House Party movies when I was growing up, or any of the other movies that I was turned on to over the time of various things. I mean, like, I want to sit here and fucking name everything that you can name. Everything that you look is just like some sort of depiction of hip hop culture in like this negative, everybody's a criminal, everybody's whatever. All this shit trying to keep the fucking black man down. What's the recent movie? Was it Nonfiction or whatever? It's a great flick. American Fiction? And it's about the black writer who decides to pretend to be really extra over-the-top, stereotypical black because he knows that that's what they're looking for. And he basically blows up as a novelist overnight because he pretends to be exactly what the stupid system wants to validate. That's a great movie. That's a great message. And there are movies like that. And there are messages like that. And this is part 2. Part 1 is the creative people have to make an island where the things are done right, where it's built like a community, where they're not just thinking about themselves. It's not, me first. It's women and children first, which means the community first. The idea that the community will be able to propagate itself first. That is a worthwhile notion. We want to be able to sustain this. Sustainability is not considered. It's not. Especially not in the entertainment world. When you're a brilliant creator, they will not empower you until the audience has empowered you so much that they can't ignore it anymore. And sometimes they won't even do that. Chuck Dixon was empowered so hardcore by the comic book buying audience. And the comic book creative people just used them just occasionally, didn't really appreciate them on the level that the audience appreciated them, and eventually literally stopped hiring them. And now people like Eric July, from his Rippaverse comics, had to come along and hire them. And my company, long before Rippaverse tried it, I was going to hire them. I ended up getting into a divorce and having multiple fires and having a whole bunch of shit that happened, just kind of running out of money and so many different things. But my company was trying to do the same thing because I saw what Eric July and other people see. There are brilliant creative people who should be working right now, and they're not. Why don't these people have jobs? I need to put myself into a position where I have a company so I can give all these people jobs. And I need to put myself in a position where the business is handled right so that I can pay them enough to pay for their fucking medical insurance and shit. So that they can take care of their families. So they don't have to worry about it. So that the art can be better. You know, my friend Nate Watson, I had no idea how good Nate was as an artist because on Toy Story, he was being rushed. He drew all of my Toy Story comic books, and he had to do some of them in like a week. The deadlines that he was being given were absurd. So, of course, his work wasn't very good. Just the other day, he's Aaron Sparrow, one of my best buddies. I was talking about Aaron earlier. Aaron's got a comic book that he's working on. It's not up on Kickstarter yet, but I'll be talking about it if you follow me on Twitter. I'm Coolest Geek JBS. I'll be helping him get the word out. But it's called Kneel Before Doomface, and you should follow Aaron too. Kneel Before Doomface. And Nate did a cover for Aaron, and I saw this fucking cover, and I literally couldn't figure out whose work it was, how good it was. You know, and part of the reason why I'm not better aware of how great he is because a lot of the work that he's had to do in mainstream comics that I've spent the most time with and that I most associate with him isn't great, not because of him, but because of what he was asked to do. When the business is handled properly, the level of artistry is going to rise. Just rise and rise and rise. When people can relax, when people don't have to rush the book in a week because they need to do commissions for a comic convention because they're not making enough money to make their rent between them and their wife and their child who's also contributing to their bill because their fucking rent is too expensive because we've allowed the fucking mortgage situation and the freaking rental situation, whatever, around planet Earth and America especially, to just rise and rise and rise and rise until it's completely untenable for the people living here. And the baby boomers are holding on to their houses so they can feel like they're rich in a world filled with super poor people and a tiny little group of really crazy rich people with tons of empty houses scattered all throughout the land that they're not even fucking using. The paradigm needs to be shifted, and it's going to take you, businessman, you, artist, you, writer, you, editor, you, creative people forming like Voltron, volunteering your time a little bit to each other to figure out how to do it together. Todd Blackwood, my good friend, he provided us with a variant cover. I didn't pay Todd for that. You know, when the book's all done and we've raised all our money, I'm going to call up my artist. I'm going to be like, all right, so Todd gave us this cover. You know, I'd love to give him so much money for it. You know, but like, what can we afford to pay him based on what we've been getting here? Blah blah blah. And he'll get some money on the back end because he helped us. And the more we make because of the thing, well, the more money I'm going to have to give to him. And on some level, there's money that's going to be in his pocket that wasn't there before because he helped me. Because he helped me make it a great campaign because people liked his art. And now there's more money. And like, he just invented money for himself by volunteering that cover and giving it to us so that we can make more money, so that we could go, hey, Todd helped us out. Let's pay him some money. Okay? So you guys have the power to change everything, but it's all going to be for nothing if you do not have the support of the readers, of the listeners, of the watchers, of the fans. Fans, we need you to change your behavior. I'm a fan too, and I am changing my behavior in this way. When I go onto social media, I don't engage with whatever shows up on my feed. I go specifically to my favorite YouTube pages, my favorite artists, my favorite writers, my favorite podcast hosts, my favorite people, and I see what they are posting. I'm on YouTube, and there's a video that I'm enjoying from some YouTuber who I follow. I post his thing onto my Twitter. I post his thing onto my Facebook. When you see something great, say something great. the biggest problem that we have right now is that everything being said is nasty and arrogant and evil and shitty and divisive and warlike. We can change it. We can change it all. We can change it all overnight, snap of a fucking finger. If you guys simply disengage with that. They want you to play tennis with them. They want you to hit their ball back. Bop, racist. And now they want you to say, oh, not racist. And then they say, yep, you're backwards because you're a white male. Bop. And they hit it back to you and you go, what? That's racism. Bop. And they go, no, it's not. You deserve it. Bang. Dude, that's the game. That's the game they want you to play. And the game used to be a, have you been saved by Christ? On the other fucking side of things. And, well, sorry, then you're going to hell. They want you to play the game. They want you to go, why would I go to hell? How'd you do that? Do not take the bait. Ignore the bait. Stop going to their fishing hole. You know the people you like. You like Jesse. Keep listening to my podcast, man. I got your back. You won't regret it. You'll be happy. You'll be happy you supported me. As I get more power in this state, in this space, and I'm able to do more good things, you're just going to see more great work from the fucking Daniel Warren Johnsons of the world, or the fucking Art Adams, or the Brian Bolins, or the Alex Rosses, because once I have the money to hire the people who I really want to see do great things, that's what I'm going to do. And in the meantime, I'm just going to find the greatest people under the sun that you've never heard of before. And I'm going to make them look great with great stories that play to their abilities. When you look good and you're working with me, you make me look good. That's how it goes. We can make each other look good by association. But it's all for nothing if I can't get an audience to get behind me. If the audience says, D. Snider is his dad. D can pay for his advertisements, or D can promote him out there, whatever else. Meanwhile, D isn't a fucking bazillionaire. D's better off than your average person. He's not a fucking Rockefeller. He's not a Rothschild. If he were, dude, everybody would know about me. It's not even close. There's no comparison. If you go, that guy's a white guy, he's got an advantage. Well, you're being a terrible racist, and you're ignoring my heart, or you're ignoring somebody's heart. And their heart is so much more important than your skin. You know, I have a dream that one day my children will be judged by the content of their character and not by the color of their skin. Fuck, man. The content of their character. Martin Luther King Jr. would be so disappointed in everything that's going on right now. Or what if you don't want to support me because you're like, well, you already got a platform. You already got a podcast. You already got a thing. You've been on TV. You've music thing. Yep, and it's been fucking pulling teeth my whole life. My whole life I've been sitting here going, shit, do I just like give this up? This isn't really great for my family. This isn't really taking care of everybody. I feel like there's important things that I have to say, and I feel like I'm the best person to do some of these things and that I can really be of use and of benefit in this industry, but I'm not eating. I'm not taking care of myself. This is the life of 99.9% of the creative people that you know. And the 0.00001%, they're like crazy photographers taking weird-ass pictures of babies naked with fucking wings on and shit, getting paid thousands of dollars by some fucking evil, blood-drinking Illuminati member. And do not think for a second that those things don't exist and aren't real. I'm telling you, I'm from Hollywood. I've been invited into the Illuminati multiple times, invited to play at their concerts and other things. This is as clear and present and real as it gets. And all of us little people who aren't a part of it are just fighting for scraps. Have you seen A Bug's Life? What do they learn at the end of The Bug's Life? There are more ants. The grasshoppers may be bigger and more powerful, but there are more ants. You ants out there, you fans, you guys are capable of dismantling this system. And the only thing keeping you from doing it right now is not knowing your power. You want to connect with your community. So a big thing's propagated by a corporation, and you all go over there because you think, oh, maybe some of my other friends and some of the other people like me will be over there. And then they show you something else, and you go, oh, that kind of appeals to me on this level. That might also appeal to some other people who are kind of like me. Maybe I can go and connect with my community more and find more friends over here. But this reactive state where things come to you and then you react when things come to you. I'm here to tell you, things come to you from money. You know why you're listening to my podcast right now? Because I work with the Podcast Playground. And the Podcast Playground recognizes that the only way that anybody ever finds out about anything is when money is put in. Money is put into all the shows on the Podcast Playground. After that money is spent, after expenses, me and the Podcast Playground, we split everything 50-50. But first, there's $500, $1,000, whatever it is, that's going into advertising to get you to listen to the show. You might be listening to the show right now, even if you've listened to it before, because you came across an ad. And you were like, oh, yeah, I like Jesse's show. And now you're listening. But it was an ad. An ad brought you here. Dollars were paid into the system to get you to listen to my show. We're helping the system propagate itself right now. But at the same time, I'm using the platform that this system is giving me to spout information that goes against the system narrative and what they would really like to see happening. But you guys have the power. All it takes is the ants realizing that there's more. There's more ants. There's less grasshoppers. And we win. Once you see the power that you have and you recognize that you gravitating to a certain thing that nobody knows about, but you did passionately gravitate towards it, you're going to find that when you go to share that with some friends who have some similar interests, when you actively participate in sharing out something I made or something Daniel Warren Johnson made or something Jeff Johns made, like his new Ghost Machine line of comic books, that's a fucking comic book creator and some great comic book writers who know how to make great comic books. You should be supporting their initiative. I'm supporting their initiative. I went out and I went to a comic book store and I bought the Ghost Machine comics. I didn't know that they were coming out. I actually stumbled upon the fact that they came out when I went into a comic book store. But as soon as I saw them, I went, oh, fuck, I can't leave this store without those books. One of my favorite writers, Jeff Johns, somebody who I think makes comics at a very high level and has provided me with hours and hours of delightful entertainment, is going into business for himself, trying to do this right, trying to empower his fellow artists and trying to empower himself so that he can do more of the great work that he does. Yes, I will. I will help you, Jeff. I will help you, Daniel Warren Johnson, any fucking miniseries he wants to put out, anything independent he wants to do. I will help you, Juan Gideon, about some cool fucking sticker that you're selling at the convention because I think your art is awesome, man. There are so many cool people out there, and I have to support them. It's up to me. It's up to you. These people are never going to be able to get past the barriers in place to stop them unless you and you and you and you and you and you and me fucking get in there and support these people. Lift them up. Lift up their YouTube channels. Lift up their critiques. Lift up their fucking workout recommendations and their fucking meal prep recommendations and lift up their new way of looking at science and lift up their philosophy. There are wonderful people in the world right now who deserve your fucking support. They deserve you to be subscribed to their channel. Subscribe. If you have a friend who's an artist and you respect them, how hard they've been working for so long, and you're not subscribed to all of their shit, dude, go subscribe. Go subscribe to all of their shit. If you got a friend who sends you a music video or some new fucking comic, comment on it. Comment on their stuff. Participate. If they're a blogger and they're saying shit that you think is worthwhile, go down there into the comments. Be one of the people who is engaging with them in such a real way that it inspires other people to engage with them. The difference between them succeeding and being able to change the world for the better is you. It's you. It's you caring enough to help them out, especially if you know them. Because when people know people, unfortunately, there's an ego tendency sometimes in this world to not want people that we know, our brother, our sister, our friend, to succeed better or larger or quicker than we can. But sweethearts, if there's somebody who you know who deserves it, you're probably somebody on some level who you know who deserves it, but you might not have a song or a thing to promote. However, these people do. And if you know they deserve it, fucking get the word out. Go tell about them. Talk about them. I'm so excited. This week on Monday, I'm listening to Nathaniel Ratcliffe and the Night Sweats. And it's like one of the first bands I've ever had on my show that is less than 10 years old. I think they started in 2015. It's 2024. They're less than 10 years old. And that's cool. I'm putting them on the list of the greatest bands that ever fucking existed. And they're only 9 years into doing it. And I'm so excited about that, to be able to bring them to you. I'm so excited there is a band that fucking developed that fast and is so fucking great like that I could be like, yo, you guys got to listen to Nathaniel Ratcliffe and the Night Sweats. They're so good. There's only 3 albums, but they're all good. That's awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that they exist. But if I don't help the world to know about them, then they're just going to be dealing with the same struggle that I'm dealing with. And I know what the struggle's like as a creative person. And if I can't, as a creative person, start to live my life the way that I know I need others to live their life in order for the creative people on planet Earth to be able to do what they do and help us all live our best lives by providing the universe with as much unique and inspired art and creativity as is humanly possible, then I'm fucking it up, man. I'm shooting myself in my dick. I'm going, well, I'm better, so I want the other people to do it for me. Somebody said on stream, that some people will talk themselves up and they'll talk about their books and whatever else, but they don't talk up other people. But I do. And that was what they said. They said, but I do. I'm not saying, but I do. They said, but you do. You talk about other people. You sing other people's praises. Fuck yeah, I do. Every Saturday, I'm fucking screaming about some great movie or some great TV show. Every chance I get, I yell Daniel Warren Johnson's name because I was so blown away. What a great example of a brilliant creator who deserves support. And I've been a brilliant creator who deserves support for a long time. And I'm smart enough to go, there's one. That's what they look like. Here's what everybody else should be doing. Fucking support them. And let me just say, real quick, for once and for all time, if you are supporting me in any way, shape, or form, I am so grateful. You have no idea. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I promise you, there will never be a moment in time where you regret having supported me. And I know it's such an awful thing sometimes in the entertainment industry where all of a sudden we get to a certain point with somebody that we've been following and supporting and we go, like they've become everything that they were against. They've changed. They're not the same. I'm never going to change. I'm a 41-year-old little kid in a grown man's body. I love the arts. I love people. I like making the world a better place. I think that we could all be much more happy, much more of the time, if we just made some important adjustments to the way we are living our lives right now. And when it comes to the arts, if you are a fan and you really want to enjoy the best that there is to offer, you can't just turn on the radio. You have to be the DJ promoting the new band. You have to be the person seeking out. You have to find the playlist with the new releases. You have to give new bands a chance. You have to give new comics a chance. You have to give indie filmmakers a chance. But mainly, you just have to turn on your radar. All right? Right now, visualize with me. There's a radar system that's in your heart. Bloop, 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 bloop. And it's looking for the bleeps, right? It's looking for the signs of something wonderful around you that would serve you wisely to support. Bleep, 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 bleep. Oh, there it is. There it is. Ooh, I've gotten a line on something. Hey, look at this. This person who I like that does a podcast, he's writing a comic book. I really like him on the podcast. I might like the comic book. Right? And that's not just me, right? Critical Drinker. He's a great YouTuber. And his critiques of movies are great. Clearly, he understands story structure. He's making a movie. He's making a comic. Yeah, maybe it might be a good idea to support him. World Class Bullshitters. He's making a really cool Star Wars parody comic. He's always talking about Star Wars. He clearly really understands Star Wars in a really deep and visceral way. He's making a Star Wars parody comic. Maybe, if you're a Star Wars fan like him, he might be a good guy to fucking support. Right? That's it. It's that fucking simple. Okay? And I'm sorry, this probably, on a lot of levels, this is very self-serving, and it is very self-serving, and I apologize for the level in which it's self-serving. But that is the reality that I live in. I am a podcaster and a musician and a comic book writer, and I am constantly, because I'm not part of the machine, in a game of getting the word out there about what I'm doing. And that has become the life of most of these creators, even the ones who are being propagated by the system, because the system doesn't pay them enough to survive. So they have to also be on social media and be doing, commissions for people and all these other little things to make extra money. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to take their kids on vacation and go to Disney World and, have all the fucking subscriptions to all the different TV things and blah, 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 blah. But you can change that, man. You can change it. You can change it for everybody. One thing at a time. Your voice is powerful. You don't have to buy a comic from somebody when you see something that's great. I didn't buy copies of that book, Florida Man, but I shared it immediately. I didn't have the money at the time. I might have bought it because I thought it was a great idea. But you know what I could do? I could share it. So I saw it, and I'm like, this is fucking hysterical. Wow. And I fucking went up, share, and I wrote a little thing, and I went out of my way to write something because I know it fucking matters, and it affects the algorithms. That's the thing. All of your favorite creators, we're all up against these algorithms, and these algorithms do not want any of us to succeed independently. They only want us to succeed if we're on their teat. If we are actively pumping money into their system, they will help give us traction. Like if you're on X right now, you have to be a Premium Plus member in order to get real traction on X, because they only are giving traction to the people who are invested the most in their system. And ultimately, that is what every single one of these social media things do on various levels, whether it's a subscription-based model or not. They are incentivizing the people who have spent the most time there, are wasting the most time there, everything else. Somebody who's trying to get in, get out, share their things with you, and then move on with their life, they don't want to help propagate that person. That person didn't spend 16 hours on their platform. They want you on their platform as long as possible so that they can send all sponsored posts to you. All these sponsored posts that you pass as you're scrolling, money. They're getting paid to show you that, getting paid to show you that, getting paid to show you that, getting paid to show you that. The only way to beat this system is to think outside of it, is to raise your perspective beyond it, and to recognize that you can't change this thing from within. You can only change it from without. Well, guys, I think that's the end of the show today. I thank you so much for everybody, who shared Fucking for Our Future, backed Fucking for Our Future, is doing anything to help us on this level. I mean, I'm so happy with, we've already made, we're almost at $8,000 now, and we got another 6 days, and I really think actually we're going to really burst through. I mean, I want to make $100,000, and 6 days left isn't a lot, but I think we can do it. And with people like you helping, and we already have lots of people like you helping, I know we're going to be able to do it. So Thank you. Because without you, it's not possible. And I'm not twisting your arms. I'm telling you my perspective. It's up to you to go, I agree with that. I think that is beneficial. I would like to see Jesse succeed. It's up to you to decide that Jeff Johns' Ghost Machine comic book line can succeed. But you have to go and you have to buy those books. There's so many wonderful people on planet Earth who deserve success, who deserve your attention, and who would make your life better for them being a part of it. I beg you to seek these people out. Not just me, but you'll find some wonderful things with me. But so many. Even if you start with me, don't stop there. And I won't let you stop there anyway, because I'll keep recommending people. And you know what? Starting with me is not bad, because I do recommend people all the fucking time. And I'm never going to stop. Because I know that I'm great at what I do, but that doesn't stop me from appreciating all of the other wonderful people on planet Earth who are fucking amazing at what they do. And we all deserve to eat and feed our fucking families and be relaxed and smiling, happy, purposeful. Man, the world is our oyster. Everything we want can be ours. If we just fucking believe it and take back power and control of our lives, we can make this whole world a utopia for all of us. Mark my words. Well, that's it, Coolest Geeks. I'm your passionate cultural commentator, Jesse Blaze Snider. Write to me at jesseblaze@jessesnider.com. Love getting your letters. I love you all so much. I look forward to hearing from you. I really do. Anyway, thank you for listening to the show. I hope you'll join me again next Wednesday and this coming Saturday for another fucking ass-kicking episode of the Coolest Geek Alive. Love you.
Hey, it's my song. Let's sing it. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Come on, it's gonna be fucking awesome. You know the words. It's gonna be fucking awesome. That's it, see. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah! It's my favorite part. Isn't that heavy? I played that. Coolest Alive.
You've been listening to Coolest Geek Alive with me, your host, Jesse Blaze Snider. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more excellent geek culture content. Thanks for listening.